And now we are, my name is Jonathan Antonio Martinez Machain from Tijuana, Mexico, Tjridoo.
Hey. Yeah.
Didgeridoo. This is going to be a new thing about my, in here my YouTube channel. Some interviews of a lot of didgeridoo players around the world, and to show the to the Latin American community. In this occasion, it's Omir. What is your name?
It's Omid Aski Laridjani.
Damn.
Yeah.
Again,
The first name you can call me Omid.
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 So awesome. We have another friend from Mexico City. Is gonna
Nice.
is because we have lots of questions.
Eduardo. Eduardo.
Eduardo Castillo. He is the. I can say that Eduardo Castillo is the best trad player in Mexico, or I can say the only one because he focused so much in trad playing. Eduardo Castillo.
He plays Yidaki.
Lalo.
Hey dudes, how are you?
Hey, how are you, man?
Fine, fine, Omid. Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Wait,
meet
wait
you.
a
Mucho
second.
gusto. Mucho gusto.
Hola, Omid.
Hey,
Hello.
¿todo bien?
Yeah, todo bien.
Me alegro.
Everything's good.
Bien,
Thank.
bien.
Nice meeting you, man.
Nice to meet you too. It's a pleasure.
Y aquí va a empezar el proyectito. Afortunadamente, Omid habla poquito español y portugués, aunque yo no hablo portugués, pero sí lo entiendo. Este, hacer varias entrevistas que vamos a estar haciendo y cuando quieras estar aquí, las preguntas que quieras hacer, lo que quieras preguntarlo al invitado ahora, Omid, que tiene una historia súper buena en el mundo del didgeridoo. Just for starting, Omid, how was that? Is gonna be like a typical question over here. How was how did you know about the didgeridoo?
Back in the mid 90s, I was watching a show on TV and there was this guy named Yanni, you know, with his mustache and long hair. And he had a didgeridoo player. I never knew what it was, but I knew it was from the first peoples of Australia. And I was just amazed by it. But, you know, the instrument didn't come to me until, oh, maybe 8 years later when I went to downtown Austin and I was going to this street called 6th Street. Hopefully, you come visit me. I'll take you there. It's where all the bars and clubs are, you know, and it's a cool place. And it was dark, and I saw this guy who was walking with a girl, and you could feel light coming out of him. He was emitting light like this, like a star. And he had all these things he was carrying. I was just curious. I ran up to him and said, "Hey man, what are those things?" He said didgeridoo. So I'm like, "Oh, that's that instrument I've seen before from, you know." And I'm like, "Are you selling them?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "How much is this one?" He's like, "It's $35." I'm like, "Okay, hold on right here." I went to the bank, came back, got a really good one. It was ABS pipe. It was like a black, it's not PVC, but ABS. It was a different plumbing pipe that's more malleable with heat. And he made it look like a tree, man. It's beautiful. And I said, how do I play it? Who do I listen to? And he gave me some names and I put it in my truck. And this was back in 2000 and 2001, 22 years ago. And I discovered that when I would play it outside, I learned the basic drone and things. There was no YouTube or anything. I discovered that it's a magnet, like a candle that all the moths are running to. And at the time in my life, I needed people around me to embrace me, to help me keep me warm, you know, keep my spirit warm. And I saw that it kept bringing people to it. It was attractive like a magnet. So one thing led to the other, and I discovered so much, and that's how I got into didgeridoo.
So awesome. I saw the same. Always The people tell me about the you saw the Johnny player that in the concert that he was playing the didgeridoo like
I
yeah
think it's David Hudson, right?
David Hudson.
David
Yeah.
Hudson. Yeah, yeah,
yeah
yeah.
that's 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 so awesome and how do you end over there in Australia with Yalu with all the people of in over there in Arnhem
So what I've seen in my lifetime that whatever you fall in love with and you become the source of that love and the higher love and passion you have, the source gets closer to you every day. And it happened to me where I was listening to David Hudson and I found this guy named Stephen Kent who's been to my house. He's like my brother now. And he's magic. He's got so many albums and his songs are powerful. I love his. He's a godfather of trance didgeridoo in my book. He's phenomenal, Stephen Kent. I got his music. Then I discovered this CD from Arnhem Land, and I can't say my father's name because he just passed away. But it was the teaching CDs. There was 99 tracks on it. And I listened. I'm like, what the hell is this? I can't make one of those sounds. And I've already been learning to play circular breathing. My first teacher was Lauren Chekio. She's a local musician. I saw her play. She's very rhythmic, and she taught me circular breathing. And I was playing, learning and making all the vocals and whatnot. And then I got this CD, and frankly, that the music sounds very hardcore. It's very rough. Sounds like walking in a bush. The trance style is like us wearing shoes. We're comfortable, but when you listen to this guy, I did not know what they're doing. I did not know what their face looked like. There was no information, no websites, nothing. So I was like a bat in the dark. So, but that passion of mine was so big that it manifested the Joshua Tree Didgeridoo Festival. They got him to come with his wife and his sister, all elders, to teach their ways. I got there early. In fact, I landed a project that gave me a bunch of money, and I was able to afford to take me and that girlfriend of mine to the festival. We got there early, and I wanted to make sure to get there early to see him, to ask him, "What are you doing? How are you making those sounds? Like it's foreign. No matter what I do, I can't make those sounds."
this is gonna be a very important thing about pronouncing the name because in our culture, Mexican culture, losing a family member, it's. Do you know the Dia de Muertos?
Yeah, conozco.
This is like we call it in Spanish, choque de culturas.
Uh-huh.
The cultures, I don't know how in
Yeah.
English.
Yeah.
Colliding.
Counterculture or colliding of cultures. Yeah.
Because in our culture, we myself is I want to make altar. I want to make altar de muertos for him and make a big party that he's gonna go to the Mictlan with Cholescuintle, and we don't know, but I'm gonna investigate what he likes to eat, what he likes to do in his life, and it's gonna be an awesome party in November the 2nd in like for him, no? But the culture thing is that in the culture of him, you don't have to pronounce the name. Why is that? This is
Okay.
gonna be a very interesting explanation because
Yes.
much of the Latam people is what? Why?
Yeah.
But why? A lot of people say to me, "No, you don't have to pronounce the name. No, don't use." But they don't explain me why. They only were like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah," but they don't say why. Now is the chance.
So the instrument that we're talking about, Iraki, is beyond just the sounds and the music. It's a way to see things. Because what happens is the difference with traditional and non-traditional is that a person sees things for what it is, like a child seeing something for the first time, like the wind, el viento. the wind. From where I live in Texas, when the wind is coming from the southeast, it's a different story than when it's coming from the west. Different story, different energy, different journey. So the trees are dancers, and you see them dancing, and you see it dancing to the southeast wind, and you see it dancing. You go outside, you feel it caressing you. It's got a different vibe, different humidity, and you see that, the branches are giving you pointers to the rhythm. After maybe a day, 2 days, maybe 10 days of paying attention, and then a year living in this city, you notice that the rhythm of the southeast wind is being told by things around you. So now I have the spirit, the movement of something energetically moving in my pocket. I paid attention, this is the rhythm. So the Yidaki and the Yulmo culture has done this for 200 generations, throwing the eyes like a net of a fisherman and getting the energy of something, and they have rhythm for it. If you forget it, it's right there. Go pay attention. So you go see the rhythm for that. Then you see it's connected to that rhythm, that rhythm, that rhythm. Little by little, the strings of your heart is sewn to the fabric of the land. And it's tight connection, like a mother and child, yoto yindi, right? And so when you have the zeros and ones, 0, 1, 0, 1, it's binary. It's like the zeros and ones that we use for computing. If you have the rhythm of the land, the stories around you, you start seeing different. You start seeing the same reality you share, you see different. So in Arnhem Land, when they see someone coming and that person has a unique energy, it resonates with something in nature, their vibe. Like when they met me, in the first 10 minutes, I felt like we were asking each other, where have you been all my life? We have somehow very deep connection, me and my dad and my mom and my auntie in Joshua Tree, California. In the first 10 minutes after they felt my vibe, they gave me a name. They gave me a name immediately because my spirit like resonated. Let me get my clapsticks, 1 second.
Muy interesante toda esta onda, lo que había dicho hace rato.
Okay.
Siempre me regañaban, no ponga la foto, no menciones, no esto, pero ¿por qué? Digo, en nuestra cultura mexicana, Lalo, no me dejarás mentir, es casi pura fiesta, ¿no?
Yeah, yeah. What Jonathan's saying is that yeah, we in Mexico we used to celebrate our dead people, but like in Yolngu, they don't. Well, they do, but in different ways. So it's not like a fiesta, you know. Like it's a very solemn. I don't know. Yep.
So everyone gets a name, right?
Yeah.
So everyone gets a name. That name resonates with something out there. Like for example, my brother Larry, Woodawili, one of his name is Winnie Winnie, another name is Uroko. Uroko means driftwood. When the tree falls onto the water and it's no longer part of the tree and it dies as the tree, but becomes the pointer, it becomes a pointer to the heartbeat of the water. When it goes out to the sea and the way it comes and dances, it teaches you that the rhythm of the tides and the coming and going of the tide. So it gives you the heartbeat of the water. You can see the heartbeat of the water by the driftwood. And my brother in Arnhem Land, he's like that. He has sort of fallen on the side of his people for many reasons. And he's always in his house, not always part of the ceremonies. And so, but he's still very strong, but that's the name that he got because of his rhythm, his spirit, and what's going on with him. So when everyone in Yolngu world, in the culture of the Yolngu people in Arnhem Land, everyone has a name. That name is the very spirit of their it resonates with their spirit, you know? And so when a person passes away, the hearts are broken, and they tell me that the spirit of the person passing away is still around. And so if you call it, it's not going back to, it's not going home to the place, to his homeland. That's why they have ceremony. One of the reasons that Yoruba people have ceremony, Bapuri, the funeral ceremony, Bapuri, is because in the Yoruba culture, when a person passes away, traditionally they've done many things. It's an opportunity for their book of culture to open, and each part of the clan, the tribe, they come to share their songs and dances. They put clay on their body like clouds, people coming together like clouds, and they hold eucalyptus leaves and they dance with eucalyptus branches because the trees, they tell you so much, and you respect the trees that give you life. And so they dance like that. They sing songs almost like where you live. If you take your shoes off and walk 10 kilometers that way, they can sit down for a month and the elder can sit down, and you can't escape this. If you don't have good rhythm, you show your community that you're out of rhythm. This, you have to pay attention to everything you're singing about. Like, this is very important in Yolngu world. Until the ceremony is done properly, then the spirit is guided. The spirit of the people united is guided back to the land. The children learn about the land because when you package the knowledge and wisdom in songs, it's a candle that never dies. Because I could test you on a song from 1980 right now. You probably tell me what it is. Because songs don't die in the heart, they're lit for life. So they use this power of heart memory with the songs, dances, and paintings to connect your breath, your mind, your spirit to the fabric of the land. And you, when the person passes away, you have ceremony that could last for weeks, every day, 5 hours dancing. And so it's healing for everybody. And the wisdom, you put firewood on the fire of the culture, and everyone gets light. And even then, you have to wait maybe a few years until the person's name is comfortably spoken because the hearts have healed. Just like a seed that falls from a tree to its death, but it becomes another tree. You know, it's like that. That's like the Yono culture. Anyways, in a long story short.
Yeah, that, this is very important because all everybody is like in I feel it in a bad way that don't do this, don't do that, don't do, but never explain why.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
yes.
in all this explanation, it's like it has sense because in our Mexican culture, and it's like we gave the Xolos Quintle, so the Xolos Quintle can walk with the dead people
Mhm,
and take him to the Mictlan, to the underworld, no? And over here we celebrate and we have altar de muertos with his picture, with all the food that he liked to eat, all the music that the person liked, and everything, and blah blah blah. I do that every single 2 de November, November 2nd, to my father and to my grandmas, and sometimes in school for an important person, blah blah blah. And this is how Mexican culture uh, goes. And for us, at least for me, it was like, don't see why, what? No, because it's his culture. But in my culture, I want to do this because this is like I'm not doing it in the bad way. In all the contrary, I wanted to do it like homenaje. ¿Cómo? Do you know how to say homenaje, Lalo?
Homage, like
Homage, yeah.
For him,
Yes.
and this is like sharing my culture to his culture and try to make a inter exchange, culture exchange. Now, I have in mind, always I have in mind, like make that happen, exchange of culture. But it seems like they don't. They just the Yonlu people. They only stay in his culture and don't want to open more. That only his or them culture. Sorry, but my English is a little bit
No.
rusty.
Well, something very interesting that Yoruba people, because they have the sonic architecture, the rhythmic architecture of nature, so diverse, more diverse than any culture I've ever seen. They have unique patterns because, again, once you listen to that book outside, the nature book, then you're inside of an entire forest of rhythms, songs, and paintings and dances. That's nature's language. And so they're more malleable. They're more like water, they're Yongo, because they're able to become another culture, and they have. In fact, they've traveled the world. They have invited the world there. They were using cell phone video conferencing 2007 when I was on a land. They love Tupac. They love American music. They love keyboards, rock and roll. So they have made a rainbow to us, but for us, the native culture of the world, the rainbow from the modern man, the heart to the modern man to the native has yet to form properly.
And that is where I came to this. I right now I have like jidakihistory.com with it. I don't know how to spell that name. Is Wukun, and it's in Spanish, and I don't like how to read that Spanish, but in Spanish, Mexican Spanish is that Yonlu, digo, Jidaki es un regalo para que seas como tú, no para que seas como Yonlu, porque no eres Yonlu. Sé tú y no trates de ser como Yonlu. How I don't know if you understand that.
So, you saying that there may be a stigma of not touching the Yidaki because it's part of Yoruba and for you not to learn? Is that what
No,
you're
no, no.
saying?
It's a gift. It's a gift to all Balanda. It's a gift.
Yes,
Gift
yes,
to Balanda,
yes.
but
But
don't pretend to be like a John Lu because you are not a John Lu.
no, it's like
Be,
this. It's like
be,
Yoruba have guitar, Yoruba have drums, Yoruba have keyboard. They have a band called Yoto Yindi. They even came to my city in the 80s. The singer of the band, he's like my uncle. I sat with him before he passed many times. It's it's not that because they pick up a guitar that they're becoming American. If the Yoruba picks up a keyboard, he is not European. Is we're just human beings with different tools of self-expression. And it's a beautiful thing when you can take a cultural tool of self-expression and
mm,
plant it like a seed in your heart and watch it grow and share the fruits with the people. So whether if you're going to call yourself Yoruba or not, it's like there's tools, there's beautiful tools that one can learn to share with others because it makes life rich. It makes life rich. For example, los gitanos de España, ¿no? Que tocan guitarra así,
see?
tienen estilo del viento, relámpago, los pajaritos, tienen ritmo diferente con flamenco, ¿no? Y también yo puedo comprar una guitarrita y comenzar a practicar como gitano, fácil, ¿no? And if I take this culture that I just learned, playing guitar flamenco style, which flamenco Guitar is very Aboriginal. It's very Yolngu. It's land. It's all land. All their dances is much like the flowers and the branches dancing. It's powerful. You have a specific guitar movement for the snow melting in Granada. I've been there, you know. So these are tools for us to use. And my father, that just passed away, he, out of desperation, launching Yidaki like pollen around the world just so it sticks somewhere in someone's heart to grow and share with the community. Mm-hmm. He was out of desperation because his people are hanging off on a string. Last string they're hanging on. They're dying. The best of them have died, man. You know, it's very tragic. Yeah. So pick up the Yidaki, play it, but traditional doesn't necessarily mean that you have to play like it doesn't necessarily mean that, but it does mean for you to pay attention to the patterns, watch the birds. Different birds give you mini rhythms, the different wind give you different rhythms, you're walking different rhythm. You can watch your wife, your grandmother, your anything move and you get the rhythm, and you, whatever style you play, your tongue and your breath and your voice follows it like a shadow. That's traditional Yidaki. That's the West meaning East, the old and the new. So you can play beatbox, you can play trance, but you're playing the song because you paid attention to the little fish in the water, in the spring water. And you get the rhythm and you can follow it like a shadow. That's traditional Yidaki.
I have here the translation in English. I can read it. It's 40 seconds. The first line says, soon as then they get Yidaki, they think that they can be like us, think like us. But they forget that they belong to their own. It's
I know that elder. That is it Buddy Kupa or another one? He's maybe one of my uncles. You know, he may have said that. So here's what I want to share. The Yolngu people, especially that elder of mine, I know him. Mm-hmm. He said that. I understand that. He's upset in his heart because other culture came and took their land. The mining company came, took their land. They're robbing their ways, and now they've had to assimilate with the modern world with cell phones and cars and stuff like that, and homes, and TV and bathrooms. These are all new over there. Yeah. So his heart hurts because he feels that maybe his culture is taken, and many other elders that I know personally feel this way. But
I don't know. I feel that video in a good way, not in a bad way. I feel it like yes, play Yidaki. It's a gift for everyone, but I feel it not in a bad way. It's, you know, that yes, we are open so everybody can play it, but be you with Yidaki.
Yeah, you know, there are people who want to be Native American and they do all the Native American things. And they're my Native American brothers that I have in Taos. Many of them wear like African American clothes, and they're actually part of a hip hop group, and they're amazing. And in Arnhem Land, they wear Tupac shirts. They look like the rappers of America. So they don't have to call themselves American, but they're using that medium of self-expression to express the same thing. We use each other's, we learn and mix cultures. Let me share you one example. My Aboriginal aunt that I love, one of the wisest women in my life, she was the sister to my dad. Her name means a solid rock because she was always solid, rooted for the people. No matter what happened, she was a solid rock on the beach that no monsoon has ever moved. She told me that she was painting one time. I took my Japanese friend's hair for her with a paintbrush because they paint with straight hair. I said, that's pretty cool what you're painting. I've seen dot paintings and stuff like that. She says, We didn't have dot paintings until they started to uh, trade with Indonesian people and the Kasan people. They had dots. They brought their culture over. They left with the Yoruba culture and other Aboriginals, and they started using dots in style to express the land. Culture is like pollens moving across the land. It's an etch a sketch. It's always sharing, changing, exchanging, without the need of saying, I'm Yoruba. Well, are you? Or maybe you're part Yoruba, because I tell you something, I gave my land like a juicy steak for the land in Arnhem Land. I wore no shoes. I went with shorts. And the sand flies, they call them mindiri. Oh man, you have no idea. In Arnhem Land, you don't need a clock, you don't need a watch. Every hour, something comes to tell you what time it is. The sand flies almost killed me. And I gave my body to that. So, and all the elders, the land, they plant seeds in your heart. If you're open hearted, they plant seeds and you take care of it, it'll grow to a tree. And so I'm part Brazilian. I am. I'm actually like a turtle, man. I've moved since I was 1 year old from Iran. I've been to America. Brazil's home. Spain is home. I love Mexico. Oh my God, it's dream reality place. So the places that we go, we discover different parts of our body. So, but I know what you mean. Don't be a fake wannabe or something like that. Just be you, but you carry those candles that they lit in your heart and you share it with others. That's sacred. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jonathan. Well, that's very interesting of you too. Also, Omid. Well, I'm very like a fan of yours, man. I really like your way of playing since you've been showing us in traditional sticks in the Facebook group.
Yeah.
And all the things you share with us, like the way the wind talks, the things you were saying just before. You also explained it in previous videos that you share with us, and it's really rich for you to share this your experience, your personal experience with us, for us to get to know that culture that we all love, the Yolngu, the people from Australia. You just said, well, we know that you are from Iran and you moved through different places, and that I believe that also has made you like to appreciate different things within your culture, your own culture, your father's, mother's culture, and all the things that have come to you. And that's precisely the things that we need to be doing with the Aboriginal culture or any other culture from the world. In these times of globalization, we need to appreciate each other and get to know them, but don't never forgetting who we are. Like I'm Mexican. I love my people. I love my country. I've grown up in this country, but I get to know all these other cultures and fell in love with them. And that's something that we, well, personally kind of explained to other persons. And the year we wanted to make like a feminine didgeridoo player festival. And we got in trouble because, as you know, it's not supposed to be like a woman's instrument.
You know, when that was happening, I had no idea all this cancel culture sickness was happening around the world. When that happened, and I saw them attacking my sister Lise that I love and adore. I met her in Arnhem.
Yeah.
When that happened, I rose up, man, and I was defending my sisters. So even not against, but from my Aboriginal aunt in Arnhem Land and my cousins that were upset, and I had to remind them, don't forget that you and my father, he told that the women can play. He stood up in front of everyone else and says, women can play. And my sister Lise from Holland, which the Tjridoo word is a Dutch-made name. Arnhem Land is from the place in Arnhem, and I've been there in Holland where they made the ships to go to Arnhem Land. Balanda is Hollander, you know? So she's like a star, a Venus morning star to go from Holland and learn and be accepted by my father, who's a custodian of the instrument. They were threatening to go and hurt the Yoruba people. Did you know this cancel culture? in Australia. They were going to go attack the Yolngu people. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And but yes, I know that. I remember that. That was a crazy time, man.
What I discovered in that, it was a bunch of boats. I discovered a bunch of boats, and there were a lot of people from Central America and from Venezuela, because I started to look. A lot of people didn't bother to look at my pictures, didn't bother look to my profile and blah blah blah. And I had long hair, and my profile picture I was like in like picture from the back, and they say to me a lot, "You're a woman. You don't have you didn't bother. Not, not even my name over there.
Yeah.
Jonathan Antonio Martinez, my Chinese and Mexican. Hell no.
Yeah, it was very messed up that
Yeah,
year.
It was crazy, man. It's social sickness. Social sickness. Yeah.
Yeah, but well, as you said, Omid, like at least she does know about the instrument.
Oh
She does
yeah.
respect it. I met her, and she's a lovely person also when she came
Yeah.
to Mexico,
Oh
and
yeah.
she also taught us respect to the Olongu culture, the Aboriginal culture. And
Yeah.
I wanted to mention also, we were talking about like legacies and all the things that Yolngu are now dealing with in this contemporary world. Like, I don't know if you already seen this one, the In Between Songs.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
In this DVD, they talk a lot about that heritage that, for example, Larry's is having now in its own shoulders, like carrying. And it's very difficult because, well, also in YouTube, there's lots of documentaries like Narli, I believe, the one from Tobacco. It also explains about how the Macassians came to also Australia, and they share culture. They became family also. So they do have this like old custom to share what they are, and like accepting people also. I don't know. I believe
Oh
it. I
yeah.
believe so. No, and
Oh, my father's name is not Yolngu. That name that everyone knows is McCassin. McCassins
oh,
came. They planted that tamarind tree on the beach. They traded, and he was young, and his ankle was so thin, and they called him that name because in Macassan language it means a peacock with thin legs.
oh,
See,
wow,
but he has a Yolngu name. He's
yeah.
a turtle man. He's a turtle man. He's a living turtle man. They eat turtle. They call Miapuno Marpan, and I can talk hours about this as the turtle alone.
Wow.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah. But thank you for sharing the story about my sister Lise, man. She played in my back on the beach at Ski Beach, and
Mm.
it made I was working on a Yidaki with my father, working on Yidaki, and here comes two blonde girls, like, and he's like, they point with the, go over there, go talk to them. I was okay, because when I'm in Ireland, I'm like the bridge between the
New
incoming
newcomers.
people
Yeah.
and the young one. So I spoke with her, and she was there with a girlfriend, and for Didgeridoo, and I asked her, you play? She says, yeah. I'm like, you want to play? I want to hear your style. And I sat on the beach, and she played 10 minutes on my back. Oh my God. I was crying. I was crying, man.
Great
So
player. Yeah.
powerful. So powerful. Yeah, man. That's cool, man.
So so you went to Arnhem in 2007.
2003, 2005, I went
Oh.
on an emergency. It was an emergency because my cousin passed away. It destroyed me. I was in the Virgin Islands, and I heard my cousin
Oh,
pass.
I'm
I
sorry.
spent every dime I had to go to ceremony, and then I went in 2007 and also 2009. 4 times. 4 times on them. 4 planes from Austin, Texas. Long ways.
Nice.
Yeah. I miss them. I wish I could go see them. I wish I could go visit. It's been so long. It's been so long.
For me, it will be like a master's degree, being over there and learn from them. And it will be
Yeah.
damn, that, hey, I'm learning all this, and
Yeah, it's you know, so,
what music.
some teachers can plant a seed in your heart, and you just keep going, and it changes you, and it starts to grow. You know, uh, I I I don't have many Irakis. I even took the one that they gave me to adopt me as a son. I took it to Arnhem actually, and they all played it. You know, and for me, the I knew before going when my dad was playing in my heart, I could feel that it's a key turning, opening a door to a forest of tremendous wisdom and knowledge. And I was right. I was right because the instrument that we're having fun with, it's magical. It's amazing. My brother Sai and Rep Abu played phenomenal, you know, and everyone is playing powerful styles and beatbox and trance and all the beautiful styles that I love so much. I've been patiently waiting for the thirst for the deep knowledge that's connected to the instrument that I feel people are missing out, missing out. I feel people are missing out. And I just go walking at nighttime. When I get frustrated, I go tell the trees, you know. But I've been patiently waiting for all the digital festivals to have and to have and respect and cherish an open room for the traditional ways.
Yeah, there will be very important things because one thing I will say at the first, in all festivals, they are the same people always. Salem, there's a
Mhm.
difference because they are close, but they are the same players always, one and again and again and again and again. And one thing that I have seen is what Omid says that they there is no place or they don't put something. Oh, in indigenous, they always have a. I don't know. He is. What's his name?
Louis Burns,
Yes, that
Louis
guy.
Burns,
he,
yeah.
he's
Lewis
cool
Burns.
people. You know,
Mhm.
something, and I don't say nothing, okay? And I have no expectations because everyone is on their journey, and I must cherish and respect this.
Mhm.
I feel like the ways to knowledge and ways to create a rich experience as a human being is always around for the people that are thirsty for it. Because even a bee is going to go kilometers away to find a garden to come back to dance about, you know? And it, I don't know. For me, when I discovered the traditional things, I knew that there was something very profound that was between the sounds of silence and sound, something very profound to follow and learn. I risked my entire life. You have no fucking idea how I risked to go everything from my finances to my body to my spirit. I came out the first time beat up in every direction. It's not a picnic to be there, but I've been patiently waiting for hearts to open up to want to take a peek and look and learn because it makes your life so rich and you walk with that in your pocket. You walk away rich and you can see things, you know. It just helps you see things in a beautiful way, and it's so extraordinary. But even I don't understand many Aboriginal cultures. Like Lewis, when I first met him in the same festival, I said, "Where do you come from? What part of Australia? And are your people still around?" He, with his foot, he drew on the sand the map of Australia, and he wiped out the middle. He says, "Look, we're all got wiped out. All got wiped out." And so what I don't understand is for the Aboriginals that are on other parts of Australia, why are they not going straight like the beach or Arnhem Land? Because that's where the culture is still deeply alive. The way to see the diversity of seeing and using. Maybe they are in their own ways. I don't know. But I can't help but to say if I was in Australia, man, I would be going to Arnhem Land so much because Even the children teach you so much. Even the kids teach you so much, you know, and the land is alive, man. You feel like something is checking you out every second. You're never alone over there. You're never alone,
Yeah,
man.
but that's sorry, Omid. That's well, as I said, like a contemporary like phenomenon, like it's like we can see on that documentary, like Gnarly. They talk about like the addiction that nowadays people have with tobacco or beer. They didn't have those kind of substances in the past, so now they do get like addictions from this contemporary world, not just from those drugs. Like they also do TV, or it's a way of living that we also have. Like I'm Mexican, but I don't know how to talk English, for example. Why the fuck do I know? Well, it's globalization, man. It's history. So nowadays, kids in our homeland and in all Australia, they want to be like, I don't know, basketball players, like rappers. You just said it, no? It's like us, and it's up to us to appreciate who we are, what we have, like a culture, and become a better person. I don't know. I also love to play different instruments. I get to know the oud, for example, nowadays, that comes from Persia, from the Barabat, for example. I get to know Yidaki. I get to know bass, saxophone, and I try to enrich myself, like grab from all of them, and be a better person. But it's up to you. So you can
Yeah,
have lots of influences, but it's up to you to be a good person. You know, don't mess up
right.
with drugs. Don't mess up with beer. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like anything can be a like an addiction. You know.
absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of there's many stories where when they came to Arnhem Land to mine to go to have aluminum, the land is red because it has aluminum and it's rusting, metals in there. So they came, the foreign companies came with money and they started to mine the land. They had to destroy some of the land that belonged to Yomo. My Aboriginal aunt, she told me there were the elders that had custodianship of the land. And custodianship doesn't just mean I paid my taxes and I paid for this land. No, no, no. It means that that land is given to you for the responsibility of the painting, songs, rhythms, and dances, right? Because every part of the land has stories. They even have songs about every single part of the tribe of Yolngu where the clouds form and start moving. They have deep songs about all the songs about these detailed things that we don't even think about. When they started mining, my aunt told me that the elders that were very healthy and fine, they died one after another. When they saw the strings of their hearts cut and the land was being destroyed, they died. The pain is in a different pain that we can imagine, you know. Um, so
Yeah.
it's interesting how the different substances that were brought in to numb the pain, and it's hurting them. There's so many of the best of them have died because of it. Very tragic, man.
Yeah, it's all due to
Yeah,
global economy and aluminium, and
yeah,
it's like here in Mexico also we have lots of cases, national and international, Canadian,
yes,
from the United States. I don't know. It's the way we live, but it's also, that's why it's very important to keep the culture alive. Like they said, like Joe Rugindi said also, like keeping culture alive, and
yes.
we need to preserve it.
One thing I was going to mention, the first bubble that was bursted in the first hour of my arrival in Arnhem in 2003, I thought that these people, I was imagining what it's going to be like. I did not know anything about them. I thought that because they have the paintings, songs, and dances with the harmony of nature, that these people are going to be the most peaceful people. That you just have to like be with one with nature to be all everything good. No, no. Even before the coming of the Anglo people in Australia, there was struggles. If not the struggle from the Japanese have been there. The Japanese, the Yellow Sunset song they call Japana, and the dancing is like kata karate. And I was
Mhm.
in ceremony next to my father saying, "Hey, that looks like Japanese karate." He says, "Son, the Japanese came to trade with us. Sometimes we had conflict. We had to throw spears at them to go away to the yellow sunset."
Yeah.
The
Nice.
songs have information. The songs package stories deeply. So we the human beings are part of nature. Nature has tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes. We're no different than the ants, and we have the human condition of struggles. We kill each other, and so it happens there too. Way before the Anglos came,
Yeah.
They had alcohol before the white man came. They had tobacco. The tobacco they smoke with a long pipe, like
Yeah.
native, yeah. But they keep trading with these cultures. They've not been isolated. People say Aboriginals are isolated. No, some Aboriginals went to Macassan. Some Aboriginals went to Indonesia, and they've been going around. It's mixed. We're all mixed, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Since ancient times, we're mixed race. There's no races. Also, we're
yeah, we're all mixed.
yeah,
We're all mixed. Like myself, I just discovered a few years ago that I'm a Jackie from
Indian.
Jackie Indian indigenous from Sonora.
Yeah, I believe so, man. You're from Baja California, man.
Yeah,
Wow, wow.
my grandmother was living there in Sonora in the way up in the hills of Sonora in the Yaqui communities, and then she got pregnant and came to Baja California. And my grandpa had 7 kids, and my mom, and now me. I'm descendant from Jackie. I'm a Jackie indigenous. If I want, I can go to that land and reclaim my. I'm a Jackie.
Right.
Have rights, and I can have land, but I don't do that. I'm
That's beautiful, man.
I'm from Tijuana. I born here in Tijuana. I don't want to mess up with their land. And the problem now that they have, like over there in Australia, with all the minery and all that kind of stuff, they are like fighting the worst thing that we'd never thought it would not be. And we are like starting to see that in some places in north of Mexico, fighting for water,
Yeah.
fighting
Also.
water. That's the main problem over there in Sonora desert, over there with the Yaqui community. They are fighting for water. That's ah, that's
Are they running? Is it drying up? Is it dry or is it
it's
not raining or?
like three things. It's not raining. It's the middle of the desert. It's taken for the big industries and
Beer industry,
Mm.
beer industry
water bottle industry, like yeah.
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah.
things like that. And over here in Tijuana, in some parts of Tijuana, Rosarito, and Ensenada, it's a Kumeyaay indigenous. The only people rest it's 3 persons. Over here, the Kumeyaay community, it's the one who rules is a woman. It's the matriarca. It's the only Kumeyaay speaker, and 2 people left. No more Kumeyaay. They are the 3 left Kumeyaay.
Kumeyaay people from Baja California.
Baja California. There are
No,
no
no more.
just the 3 persons, the
Three persons.
matriarcha and 2 daughters. We can have maybe in the future more Kumeyaay people because these 2 women, but the time only will tell.
Hmm.
So awesome, and so a lot of questions respond, a lot of mind blowing things, and thank you very, very much, Omid, for
My
your time.
pleasure.
And
My pleasure.
hopefully more in the future we can go
Yeah,
deeply in this kind
for
of
sure.
um, this kind of themes, ¿cómo se dicen? Temas,
Temas, themes, themes. Yeah.
Topics.
Topics. Yeah.
this kind of
Mhm.
Topics. Yeah.
because there is not so much. I'm gonna on YouTube. I'm gonna put some subtitles in Spanish because translating in the moment is very like tense and difficult. But I want to try to put some subtitles so a lot of people in Latin America can read in Spanish
Y
all this.
también yo puedo también hablar español, no tan bueno, pero no tan bien, pero yo hablo, ¿no?
Se
Si, si,
escucha bien. Se
eh,
escucha bien.
si
Muy bueno,
necesita
¿no?
hablar las cosas básicas, fácil hablar, las cosas fáciles.
That's a very interesting part of you also that you are super multicultural. You are from Iran, USA, in Australia, in London, in
Yeah.
Dubai.
Mhm.
This is not nothing about Didgeridoo or Yidaki, but how does it uh, how it does feel that having a lot of having a lot
Yeah.
of every part of the world. How is
Yeah.
yeah
It's something my parents were always moving for education and work, and then the revolution and war happened in Iran, and we had to move away. We went to Portugal for 3 months, then came to America and had to learn English from scratch, and and then my my heroes of football, soccer were from Brazil, so I taught myself Portuguese with music. When I went to Rio, in the first week, my Portuguese doubled. So Brazil is like home. Brazil, I'm very Brazilian, like big time. I can do different accents in Portuguese, and I love Brazil. And so it's like I've had to be like a cloud turning into rain everywhere I've gone because we move so much. And so, but I'm a very crazy linguist.
yeah
I don't know what my book is. I've actually published a game-changing book about my language. And can I share with you one
yeah
thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
¿Hablas
yes
español?
Yes. Sí, yeah.
Okay.
compadre.
En español, ¿cómo se dice the trees?
Los árboles
Árboles. Mira,
los
¿vale? Árbol, ¿no? Árbol.
Árbol.
¿Vale? Árbol.
árbol
El árbol, ¿no? Con las hojas, ¿no? Well, el viento viene aquí, enfrente, y las hojas tienen los raíces están pegando en la tierra para no tirarlos.
sí
El árbol, buena pintura. Para mí, español, buena pintura de realidad.
Mm.
¿No? Y yo miro las idiomas así. Los vocales son movimientos, direcciones de energía. Y los consonantes, ¿no? Son objetos. Este baile, para mí, es idiomas. Para mí.
And also, that's also a way that young will have to play in, right? Like they play well with their tongues. Like it's the way they talk, the way they play also, and as you said, they represent all the living things and all the world. Mm-hmm.
See, when the leaf is on the branch and it's not moving to the wind, and the wind comes and it moves and it dances and it goes back and it moves, your tongue becomes like the leaf. So you're singing. Viento, right? And so you have the trumpet of Yidaki, bip, like the trumpet. You play trumpet, right? For example, when the rain comes hitting hard, like on the ground, you see it, dip, dip, dip. Tippuru, 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 and the thunder. Rain coming fast, right? And when the waterfall, it's too fast and it's carrying your tongue can't go fast. That's water coming fast. So the language of Yidaki was there before Yidaki.
Yeah.
Everyone talks it. Like my brother, Milke Monongor. Have you heard of him, Milke?
I haven't heard the name, the last name, Murungur.
Yeah, Milke Monongor. He was the Yidaki player for Yoto Yindi. Yoto means a child, Yindi means big, and mother, child and mother. Like us, we're the children of the land. You know, it's like that. And he told me that you play Yidaki without it. He told me the first 5-10 minutes. He was teaching me. He gave me a vision seed when I first met him in the morning. He said, "Who are you?" I said, "They call me this name." And said, "Who adopted you?" My dad. "Oh, okay. So now you're my brother. Okay. Well, are you here for Yidaki?" I'm like, "Really? No, I'm here to be with you. I love Yidaki, but I'm not here for that. There's other things that's calling my heart and spirit to be here." Is that interesting? Okay. He's like, "Well, you know, there's a way that we speak that connects to the land. For example," he says, "You see the beach over there?" I said, "Yeah." "I see the waves crashing." "Yeah." We say that Tjridoo. When the wave hits, Tjridoo. It Tjridoo. See, your tongue can go down like that. And he taught me the language and how the language paints what you see in the things that move around us, you know? And they have a sonic architecture for the whole land. For example, when I'm driving here in my city and I'm sitting at the red light, here comes the red-tailed hawk. And it's flapping, 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 and gliding, gliding, flapping, 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 gliding. And there's some building, and it goes behind the building. And I'm following it, and it goes out of the building. And I'm like, oh, the rhythm continues. So I've practiced this so much. I have that rhythm. I can make song with it. And then I can say, hey, what do you think? Hey, dancer, dance. Try the dancing, and make it dancing. This is turtle. This is dolphin. This is the sun. You know, the fish. You know, for everything they have a sign language. So the language of Yidaki is straight connected to your present day reality, and it's connected to the dancing, the paintings. The paintings are telling you how to dance. The paintings have law. It's law. You can't, if you break it, oh man, it's serious. If you really mess it up, you can maybe even lose your life. There's a lot of crazy laws they have there. This is law. This here, it goes before Yidaki. This is Aboriginal law. They call ROM, R-O-M. Anyways, it's an interesting, but yes, the Yidaki language tells stories.
It's beautiful. Yeah, thank you so much, Omid. Thank you so much for sharing.
My pleasure, man. I can't wait to meet one day. We can sit down all day, play all day.
And play, man. Yeah, it would be just fucking awesome.
I'm more of a dancer. I'm a dancer. They call boo. I'm a dancer. I dance, man. I love the dancing, you know, and I miss the ceremonies. Oh man, 5 hours a day. When Alfred, you know, that's my father's brother. When he would sit down on the sand to start singing a song, I can't explain this. It felt like the world has its own rhythm. Now the world, the realities rhythm is moving to his metronome. I can't explain it. He had a magic with this in a different way, where everything else was becoming attuned to him. I can't, it's weird to even talk about, but it's very unique, man. I have many stories about that, you know, but it's such a powerful, rich culture, man. And I'm crazy about it, you know?
Very, very strong personality. Maybe that's that he had, I believe, maybe.
He paid attention. You know, his father was a very powerful ceremony man, and he paid attention, you know, and he had a powerful voice. You know, his voice is like this. It's not on, then it's on, like that. You thought the light was on, but it wasn't. Then he turns it on, and everyone feels it. Everybody feels it. Even they feel it. They know. Yeah.
Great.
So awesome. All this is a lot of learning, a lot of never never thought, yes, never thought that Yidaki playing it was like seeing the world, seeing everything, or even like for me, I enjoy and I love how to see the hummingbirds.
Yes.
They look like very tiny little squeaky birds, but if you study the life of one hummingbird, you will see that is the toughest bird in the whole, because in appearance is like tiny, but the distances that a hummingbird fly is like mind blowing.
It is. It's mind
Not
blowing.
even
Yeah.
not even a big eagle can will fly like far away in proportion. If
Yes.
it is, it can
Yes.
go to one hummingbird. I see one hummingbird over here. In maybe in 2 years or 1 year, it's gonna be in Argentina, and I don't know, Rio de la Plata, or maybe
Wow.
in Buenos Aires, flying in picking flowers, and that can be a very awesome uh, making that to Yidaki playing. It will be
Yes. Yes.
so
Yes.
beautiful,
Yes.
so beautiful. I love
Yes.
hummingbirds. It's my
It's
favorite
so
bird.
good.
It will be like like a puny little bird. Oh, like,
That's my Brazilian name. My girlfriends in Brazil, they call me beija-flor. It means flower kisser, you know?
Beijador.
Beija-flor que trouxe meu amor. This beautiful, beautiful
Besador.
man. Yeah. So I have a little thing I want to leave y'all with, okay? So try this to see what it does for you. Okay, so when you go shopping, grocery shopping, when you at a bus stop or driving, when you see someone moving, just take your hand and tap on the side of your body. Download their rhythm, get their rhythm, just for practice. Start seeing the rhythms, and no one knows this, but just take your fingers and just like, oh, okay, that's that rhythm pattern. Okay, that's another one. Oh wow, you become like the person who's drawing someone, and it draws you close, and you get to see something for the first time. Just that alone is a powerful seed.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Inspiration from everyone. We get it.
yeah.
I have learned in these 40 minutes, almost 50 minutes, more than my 10 years playing.
Oh, beautiful. By
That's
the
nice.
way, I saw the video of you playing earlier, and I loved it, man. I
Thank
love
you.
that. It's beautiful,
He's a
man.
fucking bomb, that guy.
Yeah, man. It is. Yeah, my giant. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and hopefully, I want to go to
Yeah.
over there to and learn from the guardians of it.
Yes. Yes.
Hopefully, one day, it's very expensive, but
If
hopefully,
I if I make a shit ton of money, I'm gonna take us all over there. I promise.
vámonos,
Oh, okay.
Vámonos, vámonos.
or
Vámonos todos.
or at least mm, you jump to Mexico City, and we hopefully can make something for 2020.
Some
I would
gigs.
love that. I would love that. I love yo en 2012, yo en novia eh, con un bus viajamos aquí hasta DF.
Ay,
Oh,
Claro,
like,
era 24 horas, pero yo quería mirar la tierra todo, no sabía, tanta montaña, desierto, todo. Y la cultura mexicana, para mí, México es realidad y sueño. Y conexión de la gente es como jardín de las mariposas, son bien profundo conexión. Me encanta cultura mexicana tan rica, profunda y la comida, los taquitos del amor. Y en San Juan, Teotihuacán, gasté cuatro noches ahí en Teotihuacán.
Now you have to know the north of Mexico over here in Tijuana. It's a lot
Ya, una vez yo fui ahí.
crazy thing.
Una vez,
Really?
era 99, yo fui viajando para Los Ángeles. Una exnovia mía es un bodybuilder y fuimos en Tijuana, manejamos ahí y yo comí un taquito del amor ahí, maravilloso.
In 99, I didn't have idea of the didgeridoo. Didn't know about it. Nothing. Just this dude that died from a ray. I don't. Steve Irwin. Just knew about Steve Irwin. In some of the documental of Steve Irwin, I just heard a little strange noise.
Oh yeah.
What's that? My life.
Yeah, man, it's beautiful.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you very much.
My pleasure.
Thank you,
my
mate.
pleasure. My
Thank
pleasure.
you so much.
Stay in touch. Let's keep each other connected, learn from each other, okay?
Of course, man. Yeah.
We'll cut
Thank you.
By the way, I have a website that I spent, I don't know, half a year putting rich videos together, teaching the applications of Yidaki. With everything I've ever done, I always call my dad, hey, Dad, I'm going to go teach at this festival in France. Is it okay? Yes, go do it, son. Dad, I'm going to put videos together to teach my experience with Yidaki. Is that okay? Yes, son, go ahead. I always ask my elders anything I've ever done. But I've asked permission. I've made videos of my uses of it. And it's called, I don't know if I can type it. It's called creativeinstincts.tv. Many rich videos.
You can give me that link.
Okay.
In a message, and I will
Yes.
put in the description.
Oh, okay. Okay, here goes. Yeah.
You said you have a book. Did you make a book?
Yes.
Yes. Also, come on.
Okay.
You have the name of the book. Put it
Yeah, it's about the Persian language, and it's a game changer, man. .com, and I'll do this here. Okay. And my springs. Okay, I think this is a creative instinct. Let me double check on that. I want to make sure that it goes to that address. Ratito. A ver. Está ao vivo. Vale, vamos ya. Aquí. Ya busqué. Ahí. Yo pongo ahí.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Miss.
Thank you so much. Hey, brother, stay in touch, okay? You keep
Yes,
each other
man.
strong. Stay. I love y'all. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Have a nice one.
Un placer. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Hasta
Descansa.
luego. Hasta luego. Dios.